Week 3 of October. It's still Halloween. Welcome to SoCalDramTram. I'm Matt.
And I'm Cesar.
And today, before we get into this bottle, we just want to say, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe before you take off. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you're a return viewer, thank you so much for sticking around. Nonetheless, everybody hit the little bell for notifications. That way you know whenever we drop a brand new video. Cesar, what do we got on the bar today?
Today we got something from your bar, my brother.
That's right. Today we have Balcones MIRADOR, pot distilled single malt Texas whiskey. Hit it. So, we are back on the Texas whiskey train today with another bottling from Balcones Distilling. Now, we've already covered a little bit about Balcones in one of our other reviews. We reviewed the Balcones Brimstone. It's right up here. You can check that out, but not until after this review. You can wait and come back to that video later on. Yeah, that's right. You stay right here. No, I'm just kidding. But today we have a special annual release from Balcones. This is the Balcones MIRADOR Texas Single Malt Whiskey. So what makes this whiskey, excuse me, what makes this whiskey so unique that it only gets released annually? Well, it's pot distilled, and this particular expression is presented at 56.2%, so nothing out of the ordinary there for Balcones. They're trying to kill us with the high proof, but that's all right. But it's second fill barrel malt profile. What the hell does that mean, you might ask? Well, it means that, number one, this isn't a bourbon. What do we know about bourbon? If you're going to be bourbon, you have to be aged in a brand spanking new oak cask. Yep. This is not a brand new oak cask. And number two, because it's not a brand new oak cask and because it's a used barrel, you can age the whiskey for a lot longer in a place like Texas without the oak imparting too much of a flavor profile onto the whiskey, which is really nice. This particular expression is going to be a blend of 2 to 5 year old whiskey, which is going to be about double the length of typical Balcones expressions, which is kind of cool. Obviously, being in a higher, climate like in Texas, you can't go for very long. So I'm excited to see what a used barrel does to some Texas single malt whiskey. So again, let's get back into this. Why am I excited about this particular bottling? So this is kind of a big bottle as far as the whiskytube community goes. I know that this has gone up in blinds against like 30-plus-year-old scotches and actually was able to come out on top. So I'm just excited to get into it. We have only just cracked the neck pour today, so this is going to be not only first impressions, but our review as well. Maybe that's being a little unfair to the whiskey, maybe it's not, but to be honest, a whiskey should be able to stand on its own. Yeah. And honestly, with a pedigree like Balcones and Jared Hempstead, I'm not too worried, to be completely honest with you. I saw this at Total Wine. I picked it up. It was about $70, so a little bit higher of a price point, but technically it's a craft distiller. They're getting much larger, obviously, but I had no problem swallowing that price point for this bottle, especially based on Brimstone. The Brimstone was actually a really nice bottling, so I'm excited to get into this. What are some of your expectations before we get too far into it?
Well, with that last Balcones, it was actually an even fluctuating flavor profile type of whiskey, and it's something I haven't had before, where it has waves of different stuff and it actually works well. It's like different ends of the flavor spectrum, but they ended up working really well together. And it's evenly done too. It's not too much of one particular. So let's see if this is like that too. Actually, compared to the last one we did, Was the last one a limited, or is this
no, Balcones is core, or sorry, Balcones. Yes, Balcones is core range. It's only the name of the distillery. The Brimstone is core range. Okay. So you can walk into any store and pick that up if they sell whiskey and they have Balcones. Like, that's not going away. This is a annual release.
Okay.
So it's interesting, right? So it's hard for me to say it's rare right now because like every Total Wine I walk into or I walk into High Time, they have rows of it, right? But 3 months ago, that wasn't the case. Like I could not find this bottle if it was to save my life.
Gotcha.
Now I know that it's an annual release. And for anybody curious, this is actually batch MIR, I assume that means Mirador, 20-1, and it was from March 9th of this year, which is 2020. The year that shall not be named, if you will. So yeah, I'm really excited to get into this. Real quick on our coins today, I'm actually going to be using my Whiskey Tribe coin. This is my patron coin. Come on, there you go. Nice and beautiful. And yeah, just shout out to the Whiskey Tribe. The reason why I'm using this is because that's where one of Rex and Daniel's videos, that's the first time I ever heard about Mirador. So shout out to those boys. Who are you using?
For my coaster coin, I'm using my Bourbon Sane. For my topper coin, I'm actually using my favorite coin just because it is actually my favorite coin.
I'm using my favorite coin because it's my favorite coin.
Look at that beauty. Look at that.
It is a fancy coin, I'm not going to lie. You brought that to work one day and I'm like, and you didn't think to order me one?
Fancy.
So right off the bat on the nose, it definitely is not a bourbon, right? It definitely doesn't smell like a bourbon, at least to me.
Inside of me, but on the
Shocker,
outside.
we've been drinking, folks. It smells almost scotchy to me. That's that benefit of that used barrel. You get a softer flavor profile for sure. I'll tell you one thing. This does not nose like 56%. No. Not even a little bit. Like a high 40. 48, maybe teetering on a 50. Not 56. So, like that Balcones is 53 and it blows you up. Or about, God, I did it again. That Brimstone is 53 and it blows you up.
So on the nose, it's funny because like instinctively when I have my nose up close to it, I get the Scotch influence right away. Scotch influence. But if I want to stay a little bit farther away, a little bit farther from the spreaded air molecules in the cup, then it smells like a bourbon to me. Like a little bit farther away, I get the sweeter notes, a little bit more bourbony. But right away, if you just dig in, it's like, oh, okay, it's a Scotch. But if you let your nose hover just a little bit, use the force, then you get that. You get that. You get the bourbon smell.
This is the whiskey I'm looking for.
What you got as far as flavor profile?
So on the nose, like I said, it smells scotchy to me, for sure. Definitely some fruity notes in here, for sure. Evidently, there's a thought.
So instinctively, this is the first time I'm having this, folks. The first thing that popped in my head is papaya. I'm getting papaya from this. And it's good, like a good sweet papaya, not even like an alcoholic-y papaya. Like, to me, it is an abundance of papaya. Like, flavor profile, that's really all. Like, what are you getting? This is the first time I'm having this. I really like this. A papaya whiskey. That is crazy.
Very fruity. Like I was saying on the nose, very fruity. I get some apple. I get some pear. Some apricot in there. Like those stone fruits are very present. Wow. I can even get behind a little bit of the papaya. For me, shockingly enough, I'm getting a little bit more mango off of this. Like this is
wow.
This is really nice.
This is good, guys. This is good. I'm getting some. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm getting some papaya, like almost like a, and then the end is very sweet, like a Jolly Rancher flavored papaya. So it goes from like, here's the deep fruit, and then I'm going to finish with the sweetness of what you just had. But wow, dude, that is some good papaya. I've never had papaya like in a whiskey before. That is crazy.
I'm going to throw one to you with your papaya. I'm going to meet you there because like I said, I get a little bit of that note in there. It still has a little bit of bite, right? Like the 56% is still there. There's a particular spice. I don't know if it's barrel spice or if it's pepper or what. I'm gonna take your papaya. I'm gonna bring it up here. Throw some tahini on that. I swear to God, this is like, for me anyway, mango with tahini on it, and it's really nice. Like this is some gorgeous whiskey, dude.
This is good stuff. I to be honest wasn't expecting it to be that good, especially for that 56% ABV. this is another easy drinker. Like I could sip a 4 or 5 finger pour easily with this. But the good thing is that what will prevent me from chugging it is the how long and good the flavor profile lasts. Because I get papaya up at the front, and then as soon as it starts settling down, it just coats your mouth with sweetness. It's like, wow. Like I mean, although I could keep chugging, I'd rather prefer just wait it off a little bit, get my money's worth, and then once it's gone, go right back to it, because that sweetness is just really going really well.
It's interesting. Not that I'm getting like orange off of this by any stretch of the imagination, but you know the difference when like you buy like Tropicana orange juice versus when you make orange juice at home. Like no sugar, you literally just squeeze an orange and like you have orange juice. The difference in quality that you get, like in the Tropicana, you can taste the manufactured, commercial influence. Whereas orange, you're getting straight from it.
Yep.
That's this whiskey in terms of the flavor profile. Like it tastes fresh, it tastes clean. That maybe from the pot distillation, I don't know. But man, is it a nice drink.
Yeah.
Like this is one of those that just like, I could sip this all day. I don't know about a 5 finger pour, but I will say it's an easy sipper for 56%. Now, if you are new to whiskey, this isn't probably going to be an easy sipper for you because you have alcohol to overcome. You're like, oh yeah, I drink beer. Yeah, let's put away the Mirador. Maybe let's get you some monkey shoulder.
I drink beer.
So for me, like it's really nice. Now I saw you already dropped water on it.
Yeah.
What are you getting on the nose?
I was gonna say, so.
Oh man, waxy mouthfeel too. Like really nice.
Yeah, on the nose, it really settles. Like as far as the alcoholiness, like I could stick my nose in here and be okay. Where the other one, I couldn't stick my nose completely in there. I could get close, but I couldn't stick my nose, or else it's just it's gonna sizzle up my nose hairs. But yeah, no, for sure. The first go around, it was like, SpongeBob face, nose hairs. But with this one, it's wow. I could stick it in there. It smells good. It's a good.
I mean, you can keep talking.
There you go.
I don't know if you can see it, but even with, I put like 4 or 5 drops of water in there. The legs on this thing are nuts. I mean, right in there, I think you can kind of see it on camera. Or, when this video drops, it will just look stupid. That's fine. I'm okay with it.
It's funny because on the nose, I almost think it's like a very lightly, like 8 to 12% peated papaya.
Like, you get smoking this?
Well, peated papaya. So like nothing.
Sounds like a rhyme. Peated papaya.
So I don't want to say peat like specifically, because that is like, if you say, oh, this is peat, then instinctively you think, oh, all right, well that's smoky. So if it's smoked, then that's a heavy influence. So it must be a heavy. That's what I'm saying. No,
are you getting like an earthy quality?
Probably
to
that's
it?
what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, an earthy.
This is the part of the show where Matt tries to figure out what the hell Cesar is saying. No, I'm just kidding.
So yeah, like a earthy papaya. I guess papaya is already from the earth technically, but but no, like folks, I don't know why I'm getting so much papaya off of this, but I freaking love it, because papaya, to be honest, I really don't like too much. Like it's one of my least favorite fruits, but in a whiskey, it is working so well. But I haven't tried it yet. Have you tried it yet?
So with the water, I tried it. It gets a little bit more of that back end burn, like almost peppery, but not like for the worst. Like but it is present. Like it's spicy on the back end. But again, that for me, it's bringing out like that tahini, like salty, spicy, seasoning on it. It's really nice. For me, the mangoes kind of transition into like just a honeydew melon. It's really nice. You must like it. You went ahead and pounded your glass.
Oh yeah. So that finished with the water tastes like, to me, it tastes like a cask strength bourbon. A cask strength bourbon. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of a cask strength bourbon. Like it tastes like a bourbon cask strength.
It tastes like this thing. That tastes like this thing.
No, but for real.
I was gonna say, for real though, is there a particular bourbon that it's reminding you of?
I don't know if I could pinpoint it. I know it's not Elijah Craig. Definitely. Oh, maybe the second round of Elijah Craig.
The B520.
The B520. The B520. I think it reminds me more of the B520.
It's a long haul, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it reminds me more of the B520 out of all the bourbon.
I'm not getting that, because I mean, again, the B520 for me, I got a lot of chocolate, if I remember correctly. This is so fruity. Like this is reminding me of like if Scotch and Irish had a baby. Like this is more green spotty to me. Like very tropical, appley, tart sweetness. Like this is really nice, but not so much like it makes me want to drink Green Spot. It makes me want to keep drinking this. Like, and I love Green Spot. Like that's one of my favorite Irish whiskeys, but this kind of is like, move over. You know what I mean? Let's have a little fun here tonight.
How much was this?
This was $70. I think it's $79.99, but Total Wine gave me a coupon, so it was like $70.
That's not bad.
So I mean, this is the ABV alone. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck, or booze for your buck, rather. But man, the flavor profile on this is just nice. Like it's easy sipping. You know, if you're an enthusiast, you're really gonna enjoy this. There's something else on it though that I was going. Oh, I remember now. So this is gonna be our second Texas whiskey on the channel, but it's not my, you know, one of 2 Texas whiskeys that I have on the bar. There's a distinct flavor that I get from every Texas whiskey I've had, and it's licorice. Like, not black licorice, like there is a red licorice running through this. Not like Twizzler, but just like a red licorice flavor running through this. But in this particular glass, it is not so overpowering like some of the other ones I've gotten. I don't know if that's just the flavor that I can equate to when it comes to something that happens to whiskey in Texas. Maybe it's just the way the sun hits the barrel and the barrel flavors impart on the whiskey. But there's a very through line of licorice. But on this guy, it's just this subtle undertone underneath all of that fruit. Like this is a cornucopia of fruit in a glass. Like it's really nice. If I had to roll this into a score, 56% single malt, going for a Scotch style, dare I say. Man, I gotta say, I'm gonna have to give this guy 4. It's a little salty on the price point in comparison to other Balcones, but it is a specialty release, right? It's an only annual release thing, so you can get it one time a year. And granted, in comparison to some of the other annual releases that I've seen out there, this is actually fairly inexpensive. And at least right now in our area, it's readily available. But again, it's a little salty on the price for me. But 4 is not a bad number to score on this guy. I really enjoy it. I will definitely replace this if I'm able to when it gets close to the bottom. I may even just go out and grab another bottle that way. I don't have to worry about that because this could go quick or it may stay a while. Who knows? What are you thinking?
Mirador is definitely something I do adore. It's a whiskey I'd consecutively love to pour. So with that said, I will be giving it a 4. And that was a freestyle too, because this is really good stuff, folks. I'm not gonna lie. As a matter of fact, it's funny you say it's traditional to Texas whiskey, because I was just about to tell you before you even said that I want to see it head to head with this and the limited Smoke Wagon one that we.
Well, that's Vegas.
Oh, that's Vegas.
Yeah, that's Vegas. That's uncut and filtered.
Well, you know,
But you know, look, we're gonna do a blind one day, and it's gonna be fun because we're both gonna be screwed. Because he's gonna run the gauntlet, then I'm gonna run the gauntlet, and we're both probably gonna go like 0 for 5. But that's all right because it's all about the lulls. But I think you're on the right track. Like I think what you're referencing is the uncut unfiltered.
Yeah.
And in terms of flavor profile, in terms of just packing a punch, like they're both right there. I think the uncut and filtered is 56%. This is 56%. So in terms of ABV, they're right there. And those temperatures in Vegas and in Texas gonna be pretty similar. So I think you're right on the money there. But yeah, that was Vegas.
Yeah, no, I do want to see head to head because it reminds me a lot of that, and I want to see like which one's better. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4. It's definitely a good one.
Fantastic. Well, it's a 4 from me. It's a 4 from Cesar. His glass is empty. I got a little bit left. But do us a favor. Hit us up in the comments. Have you had Balcones? Have you had the Mirador? What were your thoughts? Do you think we're off our rocker? Do you think we're out of left field? Guess what? We don't care because we love it. No, I'm just kidding. We actually care about you guys more. Do us a favor. Hit us up on all the socials. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We love interacting with you guys there. More importantly, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. It's right here. What are you waiting for? Go ahead and click it. Then you can hit subscribe. And everybody, hit the bell for notifications. You got anything else you want to add today, Cesar?
Now, what about you, my brother?
Stay safe and drink well, folks. All aboard! Catch you next time. Hey, everybody. Hope you liked that video.
Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications.
And don't forget to subscribe. God damn, that
is good stuff. Bro, I'm so happy.